位观众朋友，大家好，欢迎收看今天的独立特派员，我是陈庭宇。节目开始要带您关心的是，随着新冠疫情趋缓，世界各国纷纷开放边境，行政院也在上周宣布分2阶段开放国边境。9月29日开始，入境台湾恢复免签，机场的 PCR 采检也将改成发放4剂快筛。如果实施顺利，最快10月13日开始就会进一步取消原本入境后居家隔离3天，加上4天自主防疫的3+4规定，可望放宽到0+7，等于是入境不用再居家隔离了。因应国境开放，桃园机场已经开始模拟未来旅客大增之后的动线。而从9月12日开始，从美加、纽澳、欧洲入境台湾的游客都已经可以免签证。虽然来台还是得先隔离3天，但有不少旅游玩家已经提早来到台湾踩点。独立特派员的记者林真汝、赖正元跟着他们的脚步，一起来看看他们发现经历2年疫情后的台湾有哪些改变，而疫情过后，台湾又应该如何吸引更多的游客呢？一起来看我们的报道。
Taiwan, as far as I know, has one of the longest running quarantine programs in the entire world.
Hello from Taipei!
Oh, I miss it so much.
From PTS, the public television service Taiwan, they're doing a little bit on people coming to Taiwan during the pandemic, during the quarantine, and Taiwan's going to be opening up soon. I'll talk a little bit more about it later, but I'm going to enjoy my breakfast now.
We thought about Taiwan many times during the pandemic.
We did.
And we were looking forward to this moment of being back.
跑道刨铺，报到柜台汰换。趁着疫情期间旅客减少，桃园机场公司花了51.2亿，整建了20项工程，就等着疫情结束，旅客回流。
8月份的话，现在目前已经旅运量人次的话，已经达到1个月单月就48万人次了。啊，这个部分比原来前面的一个1到7月的一个月平均，都还要变成是它的一个3倍。
9月12开始，欧美加等国旅客进入台湾免签证，旅客量已经慢慢回升。目前入境旅客必须推着行李到航厦外排队做 PCR 检验，但从9月29号开始，将改成发放快筛试剂。
在机场提供4剂的一个家用快筛的试剂，那在入境当天或是次日啊，就是会希望这个民众来进行快筛。那在快筛之后，会有关怀人员来进行电话的关怀，会询问这个检测结果，那也会把这个结果登录在这个防疫的追踪系统。
如果实施顺利，就会进一步开放，取消居家检疫。
预计我们现在的实施的日期就会是在10月13号。那实施的内容，当然首先就是入境者免居检，也就是入境免隔离0+7。那么我们初期还是会先有总量的管制，那目前是管制，预设是管制每周15万人次。
目前入境旅客必须搭乘防疫巴士、防疫计程车，航机抵达的尖峰时段，旅客量就占了一整天的80%以上。防疫计程车捉襟见肘。
那1271辆，其实按照道理已经大概是全台湾的3倍了。但目前为止的话，我们在扩增，为了要因应未来一直旅客陆续增加的一个部分，我们大概现在已经扩增到1481辆。
扩增防疫计程车，开放亲友接送。未来如果取消居家检疫，也会开放旅客搭乘大众运输。桃园机场已经在规划修正动线。随着国境一步步开放，也有玩家已经提早来台。
Taipei Airport, Taoyuan Airport. It's so empty here. Wow.
陆可是加拿大籍的旅游部落客，他游历世界各国分享影片，有超过140万订阅。他跟泰国籍的女友受文化部邀请来台制作影片。
A PCR test is not the one that goes up your nose. It's like a saliva. You just spit in the cup. And now I have to take a designated driver to the hotel quarantine facility. 3 days quarantine, and then 4 days I'm allowed to go outside, but I gotta take another test and monitor my health.
进入防疫旅馆之后，可以待在房间里剪辑影片、搜集旅游资料。陆可觉得旅馆准备好3餐，时间过得很快。
It's my 3rd day in quarantine. That means tomorrow I can take a rapid test and then I'm able to go out. So far, I mean, it's been really easy. I thought the hotel seems like they are really used to this now, so they're handling it very well.
9月12开始，每家欧洲旅客入境台湾免签证。陆克说，就算文化部没邀请他，他也会立刻来台。而对于台湾未来将取消居家隔离，他认为对旅客是个好消息。
As a tourist, 3 days in quarantine is acceptable for some, but it's for the vast majority, I think that's going to be kind of a breaking factor that they might choose another destination that doesn't have those 3 days in quarantine.
陆克7年前第一次来台湾，最长住过1年。疫情爆发之后，观光客不能再入境，睽违2年，他最思念的是一大早飘香的台湾味。
One of the quintessential Taiwanese foods that is popular any time of day, but also for breakfast, is xiaolongbao. So the soup dumplings, I'm definitely going to be ordering up some today for breakfast. They're making them fresh here.
一结束隔离，他们就出发拍摄台湾早餐特辑。陆可几乎已经是台湾美食通。
So the filling is just pork, but one interesting thing is that they use the pork fat that renders when it's steamed and then creates the soup inside, and it's all about the folds. And she's super fast. 你很快，fast.
他说，这次来到台湾，第一件想做的事就是回味他最想念的台式早餐。
As I said, some people like to kind of pop it and then drink the soup out of it. But if it's not too hot, I like to just eat it like a one bite like this with lots of ginger. Mm.
难忘的还有刚炸好的油条，沾上满满的热豆浆。
Oh, I miss it so much. It's so simple, but it's like nostalgic for me. It's been 7 years since I moved to Taiwan, and then I haven't been back since the beginning of the pandemic. This is what I miss so much. Just a classic breakfast like this. Well, there's a lot of things I miss, to be honest.
除了豆浆油条，陆可想念的还有现烤的贴炉老面烧饼。
To make the xiaobing, he starts with a huge piece of dough that he flattens out and then sprinkles with a little bit of salt and some oil, rubs that in, and then fills it with a ton of green onions.
师傅熟练的揉面技巧，还有独特的烤饼方式，陆可全都录。他的专长是带领世界各国的网友亲临现场，尝尝刚出炉的传统滋味。
It's really bouncy and a little bit chewy on the inside, but then the outside's got a nice crisp layer. The flavor is mainly just sesame seeds, a little bit of saltiness, and then of course the green onions. It almost tastes buttery on the inside, so I'm not sure if he's just using oil or if that was butter or something, but oh yeah, that is super satisfying. Fresh out of the oven, this is how you want to eat it. Oh.
这天，Luke 跟女友来访，也是店家们睽违2年再次迎来外国游客，仿佛也迎来了疫情的尽头。
这2年因为疫情的关系，大概观光客几乎都没有了，所以这附近很多跟观光客比较多的那些商家都经营得很辛苦，所以能开放外国观光客进来，对我们是有蛮大的帮助的。
虽然熟悉的美味都还在，但经历了2年疫情，Luke 走访台北的旅游景点也发现不太一样。
I just came inside the memorial. There's absolutely no one here, just Mink and I.
Ximending were still there, but it definitely seemed a lot less busy than before, and obviously no tourists yet, so it wasn't as busy as Ximending usually is, as I can remember.
当他去最喜欢的牛肉面店时，他很高兴发现店家有了英文菜单，因为对国际观光客来说，餐厅的英文标示非常重要。
MRT has a lot of English signs. The street signs are in English. There is a lot to help travelers, but what I find is missing is it's at the restaurants, at the local establishments. It's pretty hard to order if you don't know any Chinese at all because most of the menus are in Chinese. So.
不可发现，最近国际新闻报道台湾都聚焦在两岸的冲突情势。疫情过后，台湾重启国境，更应该让全世界知道这里很安全。
Taiwan is the safest place I've ever traveled in my life. Actually, I always tell everyone the story about I had all my camera equipment with me and I was at a cafe that had outdoor seating and I left my camera bag and I got in a taxi and I forgot it and I drove about an hour and my camera bag was still there when I came back about 2 hours later. So.
Luke 认为，台湾应该好好向全世界宣传安全还有自然美景，而抢在开放国门前来台的旅游部落客不止他。
Hello from Taipei!
It's a little rainy today. It's a very different kind of day for us.
Eileen 跟 Mark 来自加拿大，夫妇俩都在电视台工作，也是旅游部落客。
We're going to spend the day here at Songshan Cultural and Creative Park. This used to be a tobacco factory. It was built in 1937. It's a very big area with multiple buildings.
他们疫情前就来过台湾2次，这一次是应观光局邀请，第3度来台，体验疫情过后的台湾。
And down here is where they would sort of produce the leaves, and the production line was above where we're standing right now on the 2nd floor, and they had really heavy-duty machinery, which is the reason why they needed to have so many columns to support all that weight.
各种文创商品逛到忘记时间，他们不只用买的，还要亲自动手做。
They work with local schools, universities, high schools to get recycled volleyballs and basketballs, mainly basketballs, and then they transform them into new products. So there's planters and bags and key tags, everything that you can think of. And today we're going to turn some old basketballs into card holders. Like this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it through?
And do this again.
I want to use it on my cards, my wallet, or I'm thinking because we travel so much, maybe on my luggage. Although it looks so nice, maybe somebody might take it.
这趟旅程除了台北市，他们也去接触台湾的自然风光。
We drove to
Sun Moon Lake.
Sun Moon Lake, and that was fantastic because we'd heard about that before, but never had the chance to visit ourselves. Yesterday, we took the Maokong gondola up to the mountains, and we saw the tea plantations. We went to a tea house. So now when we have every sip, we know the history of it and the process of everything that's gone into it. So we really enjoyed that.
And that was really special meeting with Farmer, who had cultivated the tea himself
and then
Yes.
served it to us.
When you're not able to do it, you really appreciate it a lot more. So we are just very thankful to be able to travel again and to come to Taiwan again.
And we thought about Taiwan many times during the pandemic.
而台湾还没完全解封，来台期间得隔离、采检，甚至旅行期间，他们还会接到卫生局的关怀电话，也算是特别的经验。
So as long as Taiwan is safe and protected, then then it's safe for visitors to come. But we're very happy to be observing all of these protocols because it means that people are safe here, including us. So we appreciate that.
他们也观察到，因为防疫的关系，外国人必须自备台湾的 SIM 卡，才能在机场通关。
We have found makes a big difference is having a Taiwanese SIM card. When you arrive at the airport, getting a Taiwanese telephone number and being able to download the apps.
虽然桃园机场已经协调电信公司增设办卡柜台，但每到国际班机抵达的尖峰，机场的 SIM 卡柜台就会大排长龙。如何兼顾防疫，又让旅客顺利通关，也将是未来的考验。 随着国境开放，取消采检及居家检疫成为必然要走的路。国际宣传与放宽检疫顺利接轨，将是让游客重回台湾的关键。
解封国境要配套的不只是迎接游客的相关政策，也牵动着台湾对疫情发展起伏的策略与态度。管制2年多的国境要迎来开放，大家准备好了吗？独立特派员也会持续观察。现在先休息一会儿，马上回来。